Lecture topic: Maximizing on time.
Hazrat Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, one of his statements is that day is a day of great grief, that now one further day has passed, so it obviously has taken person one day closer to his time of death, that he's going to leave dunya. That day and time is fixed. Now one more day has passed, so he's gone one day closer to that time of leaving this dunya. But it didn't yet, in that time that has passed of that one whole day, his amal didn't increase. He's still where he was. Allah forbid if things went in reverse, the wrong things came in way, and that is a bigger source of grief. So now these were people who had the value of time. And as a result, if they saw even the slightest bit of time that wasn't spent in the most productive manner. Our issue is, let alone being in the most productive, sometimes it's non-productive and sometimes it's counterproductive. That it is actually a destruction of that valuable wealth of time. So he says this is a time of grief, that day passed, but it didn't increase a person's amal. The extent to which those who understood the value of time, the extent to which they used every moment very, very carefully, there's thousands and thousands of such incidents, right from the time of the Sahaba Kiram and up to the present day. One person by the name of Sheikh Muhammad bin Sa'id al-Khalili, who was in about 100, maybe less than 100 years ago, in Oman. So there's one incident mentioned about him, that after Isha, he started making mutala of some kitab in the masjid. So now, people all gradually, one after the other, they left. The muezzin wanted to close the masjid. So he came now because he's taking long. So the muezzin now, to try and make him realize now that now I want to leave, so he came and stood alongside him. So he realized somebody standing by him, so he turned and he saw the muezzin and he realized. He said, you want to switch off the lamp? Those days was still electricity there. Don't worry, I'll do that for you and I will close the door and you can carry on. The muezzin said, very well. He knew him well because he was a well-known personality. So he left. And it was a cold winter night, and this Sheikh continued with his study. At Fajr time, that muezzin now came back to the masjid. He comes to the masjid, sees the lamp is still burning. He thought that from the outside he could notice that the lamp is still burning. He thought this person probably forgot and went away. When he comes in, sees him sitting still in the same place and still busy, turning the pages, making his mutala. So he was now not sure whether what he's seeing is right and what thought is crossing his mind is correct. Okay, maybe this person also finally went away, and maybe he came now just before me. So he is not sure, so he came again and stood alongside him again. So now when he stood alongside him again, this person again realized somebody is standing here. So he turned to him. So he said to him, I told you I'll switch the lamp and I go, you can carry on. The whole night had passed. He didn't realize that. So he's studying him still. He's thinking he's still waiting there for him. So now leave so that he can switch the lamp and close the door. So the muezzin replied to him that I already have gone home. I finished, have my night's sleep, and I've come back now for Fajr Salah. Then he realized that the whole night had passed and the cold winter's night, and he didn't even realize that all this time went through, but he was so engrossed that he didn't realize the cold, he didn't realize anything. Now this was that passion, this was the deep engrossment in their study, and this was what brought about that great amount of depth in their ilm and that connection with Allah Ta'ala as well. So this is the extent to which they looked after every moment and how they used it. So we may not be able to match them even in one fraction of their dedication and their time, but the least we can do is we don't waste time in wrong things. That's the very least. If we can't apply so much of time in our studies, we need to sleep, we'll sleep. the time of our sleep, we need to do whatever else is necessary. But the very least is that no time should be spent in something that is futile, and worse than that, something that is wrong. That then is not just that a waste of time, but that time that was spent in that manner then negatively affects even the time that a person is trying to use correctly. Because that will now clog his mind up, will clog his heart up. Now when he's trying to use his time correctly, that time too will be negatively affected. What he's supposed to achieve in that time, either he'll achieve nothing or very little. Allah Ta'ala gives.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।